Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the V4 Future Sports Festival. I wonder what these people are looking for. Would you like to see some more Counter-Strike? A little quiet. Would you like to see another semi-final? Okay. We know one of our finalists already, Virtus Pro, already fantastically through to the grand final, but who will they play? Our two teams are ready to come out and join us, but first of all, let's introduce you. If you're not aware of these two teams, I think you might be, but nevertheless, we're going to introduce them anyway. Our first team, they had a tricky group stage. They also had a tricky qualifier. They are tricked.
Hello, my name is Unten.
My name is Roy.
My name is Eko.
My name is Bobski.
I'm Shus.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tricked Esports! Firmly from Counter-Strike country, of course. From Denmark, Tricked Esports are our first semi-finalist. In this second semi-final, they need an opponent who did very well in the group stage, topped their group, remain one of the favorite teams across the world. They are, of course, MIBR.
Hello everyone, my name is Gabriel,
Fernando,
Vitor, Lucas,
Pistachio.
I play for Made in Brazil and I'm the in-game leader of the team.
and I am the interfragger for Team MIBR.
I play for MIBR and I am AWP.
I am anti-fragger of MIBR.
I'm most likely a support player for Team MIBR.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage MIBR! Our second semi-final momentarily underway. We're going to bring two of the players forward. Actually, the coach for Trick. Do you want to come and join me, Gabriel, as well? Do you want to come and join us at the front? And gents, you can get yourself set up. We'll just grab a couple of quick words with you. I know you don't like talking too much before the games. Sir, well done on reaching the semi-finals, because I don't know that everyone would have thought that Trick could have gone this far, but I get the sense from you guys, you were quite confident.
Yeah, we're pretty confident. We have played our own playstyle the whole game, so we've just prepared for every opponent, and then, yeah, we got it, so.
What have you prepared for these guys?
Every single map, so we're prepared. We know what they like to do, and even though they got a new player, we know what they're comfortable doing, so, yeah, we're prepared.
All right, good, like it, I like it. Nice bit of spice already. Gabriel, how are you doing?
I'm great. What about you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. How are the boys? Are you settling in with the new boys? Is he okay?
Everyone is very hyped to play. It's been a while since we don't play on big stage, reach finals, so we're excited for the semifinal.
Does it feel like this is a good opportunity to reach a grand final, maybe win a trophy?
Yeah, it definitely feels. The team has been practicing hard since KNG got into the team, so we're looking forward.
All right, well, I'm not going to keep you too much longer. Gents, best of luck. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready for our second semi-final. Tricked versus MIBR. Enjoy.
Tricked versus made in Brazil. I was made in Canada, but the two gentlemen alongside me are made in Hungary and Denmark, respectively. I've got Drowlin, who's been a permitted entry again into the arena. Don't try it again, because Pasha's not far. And we've got Jacob joining us. All right, Jacob's joining us. So, gentlemen, I think Fallen's beard might be representative of how long it's been since MIBR has had success.
Wow.
This is a tournament in which they have to turn things around, get back to winning ways with KNG in the lineup, and with Mouse Sports gone, good chance to do so.
Yes, I mean, if you look at the bracket, Virtus Pro, then you have Mouse Sports and MIBR, in the semifinals. We had expected them to go through originally, right? But especially for MIBR, they have been rattled a bit by their Hungarian team, and they're a team which are, very passionate. They had the mentality issue, and that was one of the reasons why, they part of a very called Zero, and that can be dangerous against a team like Trick, because sure, you are the favored one, but if it gets a bit difficult for you, once those rounds get nitty-gritty, that's when things can just run out of your way.
Yeah, no doubt about that there's still some issues here. Like teething, growing pains, whatever you want to call it, having KNG come into this lineup now as the main opper. Fallen's got to return to 2015 when he rifled. Can still pick up the double op. There's some role adaptation, shall we say, Jacob?
Sure, and it's going to take some time before we're going to see the full potential of this MIBR lineup. The fact that they're trying to force Fallen into the secondary up role and give, KNG the full responsibility of the AWP, I think is a positive sign. I think it's a healthy sign for the lineup. You're really trusting the guy you're bringing into the team that he can do the work that Fallen was not able to do. While as for Fallen, as he said in Moscow during an interview, right, he needs to find a way to be efficient with the rifle as well. Otherwise, he's going to be the next guy they're going to cut from this lineup.
Which is unbelievable.
But there's a lot of pressure on these guys. But so far, what we've seen from MIBR, it's been working out okay. I think Taco has been a little bit of a disappointment so far in this tournament, but apart from that, everything seems to be clicking right now.
Fallen was in the picture for top op in the world at one point in time. Yes. 2016, I would say. Still could be, but you've got KNG there now, and as you say, he could be the next one to leave. He's been considered by many the father of Brazilian CS. He's brought in so many players. He's created matchmaking platforms in Brazil. Yes. He's had academy teams. He's done so much for that scene. To picture MIBR without him would be a difficult thing to do. There was the bracket. That's how it looks. Virtus Pro already through to the final. That's unbelievable in its own right against Mouse Sports. But now we start the battle to get there. Let's focus a little more on the other side of it. Tricked. Dark Horse looks pretty good in this event.
Yes, we have touched on this previously. And if you looked at the game yesterday against Advocacic, the problem with their Tricked is that they made more mistakes than we expected from them. And against a team like MIBR, they will smell blood in the water, they will jump on those mistakes, and they will punish you for it.
A little bit disappointed in, I dare say disappointed, that's not really true. I was a little bit disappointed in the fact that Trick wasn't able to close out Nuke yesterday. I thought that would have been a great experience for them to go up 2-0, and win convincingly coming into the semifinal. It would have given them more confidence that they're probably sitting back with now. They showed some vulnerability yesterday, and you don't want to show that to a team like MIBR.
And it's the first time that we saw that. You guys mentioned it on the desk when it happened, that against a team like MIBR, where they don't necessarily need individual coaching, they don't need to be told and micromanaged. They've got the experience. Sure, there's still some overarching issues with maybe communication or just general play style within the team, but if they show those vulnerabilities again, if they show that lack of communication, leaving the bomb toward lobby, jumping down the vents, getting, I guess, discombobulated might be a rather mouthful for it, but just tripping over themselves. This is the team that will absolutely take advantage of it, and Hunden was very confident and very disciplined with his team, but we saw through that yesterday.
Sure, but there's always two sides to that coin, because there's no doubt that MIBR got the experience on their side. They have tried this time and time again. They have so many legendary players within their lineup. They have new hungry players within their lineup. They have basically everything for a good cocktail here. Whereas for Trick, Yes,
Sounds
they're
lovely.
Sounds lovely. For Trick, they're very inexperienced, right? But that can be a good thing as well if they sort of like try to transfer that energy into something positive. Going in against MIBR on a stage like this in a semi-final at a relatively big tournament, unimpressed, that may be their favor, right? That may be a strength for them coming into this matchup. So if they can just rule all the pressure out, which, let's be honest, nobody expect Trick to win against MIBR. That would be a big surprise to me at least. So if they can do that, you know, come into this game with no expectations whatsoever and just play freely, I think we've seen enough from Trick to basically conclude that they are a good playing team. They could definitely beat MIBR on a good day.
MIBR was the other team, like Mouse Sports, that actually got the bye directly through to the semifinal. So they're being introduced to this stage today. They didn't have as many days off because they advanced on day 2 of the event, not day 1. So 2 days off instead. There's a certain sense of seriousness that comes over them when they're on a stage. You can see it in this huddle. You can see it in their, I guess, just focus in general.
But MIBR is like the stronger team, by no doubt. But I also believe there is some uncertainty when it comes to MIBR, especially. I believe their map pool is not really defined yet, right? There are still some maps where they don't really know or haven't really finalized integrating KNG into the game. And this is like when we get to map retours, we will see this, because I believe that there are some maps where Trick could actually abuse that.
It's possible. We know Inferno has been a big issue for MIBR so far, Pim.
Yeah, and it seems like they're not going to go away from it, right? It's a map they're willing to play, despite before this tournament, I think they had 2 wins and 14 losses with the core of this lineup. So not necessarily the same lineup, of course, but many of these players have tried to implement Inferno into MIBR's map pool without any recent success. So it is something that Trick potentially could take advantage of.
Well, we'll see if they can. We'll get those maps up for you momentarily, and the players are just starting to get ready on the stage. I know Hunden ran off behind us a moment ago to run into the bathroom. I think he's back. That said, individuals, we got to look at them. Sure. Taco said most likely support. We've touched on that a few times. Fur has to be the aggressor. Yes. He doesn't necessarily have a Phelps or a Cold to be aggressive alongside of him, but there still is certainly people, KNG on the op comes to mind, that can take space away. How do they adapt to each other?
Oh, but this is the perfect thing for Fur so far in this tournament. He's the #1 rated player with a 1.32 rating, and he's also the best in terms of opening duels, in terms of opening rating, right? So he's been, I think it's 0.16 opening kills in average per round, which is quite high, the highest in the tournament. So it seems to me like Fur have been given back the space that was taken away from him. And that is very, very important for this MIBR lineup, because we forget how good Fur, when they were, like, I mean, when they were one of the best teams in the world, Fur were one of the best players in the world, and we haven't seen that in quite some time.
And even in Cluj, I remember sitting with Olaf in the Twitch lounge at the time, and watching the game, and I said, man, watch this Cold guy. He said, now Fur's the best player on the team. And then at the end of the game, he looked at me and said, okay, Cole's pretty good. Because it was when he was still new. But I think there was a part of it that when Cold came in, he took up so much space that Fur had to adapt. And I remember as soon as he left in Chicago, it was Chicago. We were going up the elevator, and I said to Fur, I said, how's the atmosphere in the team? That's a pretty sudden move by Cold, leaves you guys in a tough predicament. And he just smiled and said, it's great. And I think he knows he gets some of that space back.
Listen, that will make a very interesting match here, because on the other hand, you have Acor, right? He was another player that we praised for his opening kills, his ability to control the map and get those early kills. So that matchup between Acor on the op against Fur, and maybe even KNG, because he's also a very aggressive player. So whoever will come out on top in that will dictate the pace of the game.
And I like that you've brought up Acor, because he is one to watch. 22 years old already, which it sounds weird. Very young guy. Yes. But it sounds weird to say is old almost in Denmark. There's so much talent under the age of 21, I guess now, 22 in case of Device as well. But it's not like he's the youngest around, but he is certainly someone that can explode onto the scene at this rate.
For sure, and he had to also find his way into the scene, basically. He started out, if I'm not mistaken, as you said, as a rifle in North Academy, sorry. Yes. He was being the entry fragger with the rifle, so he's sort of transitioned into an AWP role now, where he had to find himself, and it seems to me like he's playing the best Counter-Strike we've ever seen from him. He's the fifth highest rated player in this tournament so far. He's been playing hearts out, and there's been a few games where you could just see him take over the game with the opening kills. He was dictating the game against Virtus.pro in the group stage on Mirage. That game was one for the memories for me at least.
Yeah. Again, I'll say the stat. It was 9 opening duels, 8 of them with the AWP that he won. And yesterday on Nuke, we saw at round 4, opened 2 kills lower. One in the vents, one in the control room with an op. Okay, now they didn't win that game, they didn't do very well, but I think the stat you have to look at is when he goes down, that's when they tend to lose the tip of the spear, you know, the leader in the play, and that's when they get disorganized.
And that is why this matchup between him and Fur is very important, because as I mentioned, whoever wins that will get the lead in the game. But you have to give credit to Hunden for finding all these talents, obviously, like Siush, Bubsky, Acor. These are all players who who does have history in the game, had a few years, but now really outlived their potential, like fulfilled their potential once Hunden took them under his wings.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Hunden's good at finding talent. Also, apparently good at scouting when someone's burnt out, as Jacob found out. Didn't play on a lot of those teams. What was it again? All of the teams? Never mind. Obviously, he's garbage. So, let's get to what matters. We've got Overpass first.
Yes.
To start this series off. I'll get predictions from you two now.
I think it's going to be a close one. This will be the one chance Trick have to get into this game, sort of. This is their map pick. They should be prepared for it. MIBR, we haven't seen much of them on Overpass. We know that historically it's a map they play well, and especially with this potent double op setup from KNG and Fallen, it's going to take quite a lot of work from Trick to open that up on the CT side. I'm going to say MIBR is going to win this one, but it's going to be close.
Alan, quickly.
Yeah, I agree with him. Overpass, that's the one MIBR might be gone on, but everything else is going to go their way.
All right, well, we'll see if that's the case. Budapest, get ready. It's semifinal number 2. We find out who goes against Virtus.pro tomorrow, and to do so, we go to Tom Biz and Jason Kaplan.
Thank you very much, guys. And yes, this is going to be a crazy match indeed. We already started off with Virtus.pro taking down Mouse Sports, and now we get into another potential upset to make their way through into the finals. Tricked up against MIBR, and this is going to be such a lovely match to watch.
Yeah, and I think this first map will probably maybe even decide it just because of the fact that it's one map that Tricked have been fantastic on. It's probably their best map alongside Nuke, which was the first veto that came out from MIBR, a map they didn't want to play. And then you also have the fact that we haven't really seen it from MIBR. Although, if you look historically, it used to be a map that nobody really wanted to play them on. So we'll have to wait and see. Already aggression coming out from the CT side. They want to try and take the fight early, and they've just wiped down Trick. 4 kills, 3 from Fur already. This has been one of his best maps in the past, and he's had a great tournament so far. I think he's had 3 maps already with 29 kills. And we'll see if there's anything Bubsky can do here. He needs the ace in the pistol round just to get the win.
Oh, you might have a chance. Taco going to be missing his shots, and now Bubsky in a 1-on-2, but he can't connect on the KNG. And MIBR will start off strong. And speaking of starting off strong, Fur with the triple kill. You had Pimp talking about it on the desk and how he's the #1 rating player so far in the tournament, the #1 rating team as well. And he's showing just yet again how he can do it in this match.
That is absolutely disgusting. The one worry I do have, though, is if you remember the map that they did lose earlier in the tournament to the Hungarian side, Taco had a very poor performance, and that wasn't the best start. A few missed shots, happens to everyone. At least in this round, we're not going to see anything, really. Bubsky getting 3 kills, so he can afford the Deeg. The real attempt here will be to get some damage.
I think the interesting thing is the fact that MIBR were so aggressive already off the bat on that pistol round. Obviously with the USPs, they have the range advantage, but I think they're trying to make a statement in that round, and I think Fur 100% did just that. And Tom, I'm really curious to see how things are going to go when it's going to come down to the op out of KNG and the AWP out of Acor as well, because Acor performed so flawlessly yesterday when they were playing on Inferno. Like you said, 29 kills over the course of that match and a 16-5 scoreline. And we've seen KNG hit some ridiculous shots so far. But in the meantime, it's just going to be a 1-for-1 exchange earlier on. And then, of course, Fur putting his foot back down again as he gets a second and his third. Seems like that tweet that he put out the other day is working out for him.
Yeah, I'm not going to repeat what he said.
I don't think we can.
You can go and check that one out for yourself. I like that, though, from Bubsky. Realizing there's not really any chance to keep any of the weaponry, so just throw away the M4. Make sure they can't get anything back. And yeah, that's the sort of cost that you want to be creating in those sort of rounds, because now we have to see extra money actually spent up by the CT side. They can't get the AWP in early either, so it'll just have to be actually another MP9 thrown over to KNG. So this is going to be a bit of a detrimental round. Of course, in terms of utility, they are going to have a big advantage over their opponents. But in terms of weaponry, if it can be utilized properly, Trick do have a big advantage.
So one thing that worries me when we do get into these rounds with the AWP from both teams is the fact that Acor likes to be very aggressive with the op. We saw him pick and ban so many times yesterday against Abakashik on Inferno. But we know KNG likes to be aggressive as well. So it's going to be a battle of the aggressive AWPs, and it's going to come down to who's hitting their shots today. One thing we also need to keep in mind, Tom, is that Roy, this is his first big tournament on a stage. The nerves must be going through him. When he had a good performance yesterday and looking to repeat it against such an iconic team like MIBR. And now Trick going to be rotating back towards this B site. They still have a lot of their utility remaining, and to be fair, so does MIBR.
Yeah. basically what we learned is that there's pressure on both sides of the coin when it comes to this match. Tricked going to be going back to basics right in towards the side. They go already to start onto Lucas. There is another man around the corner, and Bubsky's going to deal with him as well. Two openers in towards the site. Fallen does not have the weaponry at range to do anything here. It has to be Fur. And by the looks of it, they're not even going to try and battle this one back. Just fade out of the round, allow the T's to get themselves an early point on the board. And considering they didn't have a whole lot of utility going into that, it was one just strong flashbang that gave Bubsky the entries. And I do think he's going to be one of the critical players in this. Like, he has been in some decent scenarios before playing with Fragsters. Like, they managed to do very well at Star Series one of the times. So he's a little bit more experienced than some of the rest of the players on the team. Obviously, you got Hunden, which is sort of the outlier on this squad. But I think they're going to need him today.
And there we go, Trick taking the first round here of this half. Didn't lose a single player in that round, which I think is the really important aspect of it. You need every round you can possibly get on this T side, and having that stable economy early on is going to be the start they need. And you look at MIBR's side, and well, they saved 2 MP9s and an M4. It's going to be a tough round for them, but I never want to count them out, especially when you have Fur in the fight. And he still has the AUG as well.
Yeah, if anything, this round they come in with a slightly better buy. They're still going to have to try and steal away some map control. We saw them get aggressive onto short B in the last round, and well, this time they haven't, and that's actually where the T side have gone. Actually, she's just going to be pushing right in already. Gets an opener, but Taco's there to trade. It's an SMG to find the kill, and actually gets another one as well. Starting to do some work here. Hunden unable to do too much, and Fallen goes and pushes, but the trades come back thick and fast, and it's left onto Fur. Still rotating in, does have the AUG from above, and the bomb isn't down just yet.
He does have a smoke and a flash. The problem is he has 2 players to find. He's gonna have to hit this first shot if Bubsky's gonna back away from it. Being so cautious about the angles they're trying to take. He's got Hunden directly below him. I don't think Hunden's looked up, and Hunden will. Sixth sense tingling, and Trick's gonna tie things up at 2 apiece.
Yeah, Bubsky, 8 kills at the moment. The rest of his team combined have 3. And he really is off to a flying start. And actually, there's a few slow starters within the server at the moment on the opposing side, or with 1 kill. So it's only really been Fur and Bubsky stepping up.
Moving into our 5th round, you can see MIBR not really anything to buy up in this P250 or 2. Tricked. You said it before, Bubsky has the start they want. If he's performing well, we could see a Tricked Esports versus Virtus Pro grand final here in Budapest. And again, I like the slow play out of Trick, realizing MIBR like to get aggressive, and especially with just pistols, they have almost nothing to lose. The problem is, look what might be coming this way. I'd already Fur to go down, and MIBR just looking for just 1 kill, maybe an AK or 2. They can possibly get it. Acor, by the way, is on the AWP, and I'm curious to see how he's going to progress over the course of this match. KNG opens things up. That's an AK rescued. And now Tricked, turn it up a gear and head straight towards this A site.
Yeah, they know that there's 3 players on short B, so although there could be a rotation coming in from behind, there is maximum 1 player here, and it is just Taco trying to stay a little bit hidden. They're in fact going to Molotov the majority of the site, so he can't really push back in, and because they don't plant openly, he shouldn't be able to do too much, but he does net himself a kill. Fallen's going to be traded out, but even just the damage they've done so far is decent. In fact, Taco drops 1 more. There's going to be a temptation to go for something here, and in fact they do, and lose the AK in response. Probably not the ideal scenario. You almost hope that Lucas just tries to retrieve that and get back out of there. And he's just going to sneak towards his teammate. Has spotted the rifle. Even that alone might be something. Or is he going to try and just bait them back in? That could be a nice way to really make things costly. Smoke onto the bomb. There's the worry they haven't heard the defuse, but it won't matter. Hunden shuts down Lucas. No weapon saved, but 3 kills, Jason. It's not too bad.
3 kills for the cost of 2 P250s. I think that's an exchange you'll take any day of the week. And look at that. We can already see the double up setup coming in for MIBR in this round. So a crucial round indeed for them. Acor already off to a good start as well, hitting 2 or 3 op shots in that round. And I think this is where the match really gets interesting, because Acor, who has really been playing well over the course of this whole tournament, currently 5th in rating. He got 45 op kills in his last match yesterday against Avakashik. And the most first kills as well at 11, so it really shows the aggression out of him and maybe the dependency out of him to perform.
Yeah, I think the one thing they're really going to struggle with, though, is can he face off against the 2 AWPers that are currently on the other side? It would be great if he could find some openers. Also, it's worth noting that this is probably one of those maps where Fer gets most aggressive, feels most comfortable. We even saw it there with the sort of peek in towards water, and he is going to be a pain, but if they can shut him down early, that's where either he gets a little bit too over-aggressive and starts giving away rounds, or he falls back to a more passive position and you don't have to worry about it so much anymore. For now, still feeling confident. In the toilets, right in the smoke. He's walked into an opponent. He must know that there's someone there because he's stuck on nothing, and then they appear. Hunden gets the kill. Fer is shut down early, and now they look to push towards this A site.
KNG will still be here, though, with the op to defend it. Unfortunate for Fer to fall like that. Again, already having 6 kills in the first 5 rounds. 30 seconds left to go. You can actually see MIBR trying to get some information, pushing up players very close to the bathrooms, getting aggressive there around the corner, and Bubsky and Acor are going to chime in for the first 2 kills of this push. They're going to come in out of Hunden, and now Fallen left alone with the AWP should probably just turn tail and run. 1v5 with an op when you could use that in the next round is not going to be the situation. Look at that, Bubsky already in hot pursuit.
Yeah, why not? They've already had a clean round earlier. This one can afford to get a little bit messy. Fallen, of course, renowned for his ability to position himself, so they do have to be careful here that they're not just going to be chucking away a load of different weaponry, and as they do look to surround him, he is seemingly watching the right angle, although looks away. Here's the flashbang coming in. He's got to be careful. There's players coming from behind, but already he's doing so much damage. They need to get this AWP out of his hands now, otherwise it is all for nothing, and thankfully Shush will do just that. Still a costly trade, but even more so, they removed that hero AWP. They removed the chance for Fallen to do anything magical in this round.
Awkward, right there is all I can say. Yeah, good shots out of Fallen.
I really want to give props, actually, to Tricked in that round, because after getting that kill on Fer, that could almost be that situation where you go, okay, we've killed one on A, let's just go barreling in. And they didn't. They just waited, and you even see that the CT side start getting itchy feet. They're like, okay, we don't know where things are going to be going, let's take some aggression. And they are just waiting. You have Acor, he's not really missed any of those sort of easy shots throughout the last few days, so not really any worries there. And then you have Bubsky waiting as well, and it just made things very, very easy for them. Whereas if they go pushing, there was actually 3 players waiting for them on that A site. It probably goes very badly wrong.
I think it all comes down to Hunden and the call he's making mid-round. Again, there's no need to rush in and lose some sort of advantage. More importantly, lose momentum. We've seen so many teams, just yesterday, the Virtus Pro match up against NIP on 14 rounds for, 10 rounds straight pretty much, and we're not able to close out that game. Sorry, it's 15 rounds they were on. But as we talked about rushing through earlier on in the last round, even with that first kill, it looks like Tricked had picked up the pace a bit. Fallen's going to be on the scout. They do have 4 Deagles to support.
Yeah, look at the rotation. They've worked this out for sure. Pretty much everyone from the CT side is going to be here. This is an absolute stack. Lucas already trades 1 for 1. Again, they're looking to at least do damage here, but this is starting to go very badly wrong. The Brazilians have found themselves multiple kills. Again, it's Bubsky to bring things back, and again, he needs to ace it. He tried in the pistol round with 3 kills to his name. He's now sat on 3 once again. Can he finish it off this time?
He's got a world of time to work with. But does he know where Taco's going to be? Taco's going to spot him out, and Taco hits the first 2 shots, but Bubsky connects. And now turn into a one-on-one up against Fallen on the scout. But you can tell the USP coming out knowing that Bubsky's low on HP. Bomb going down. Bubsky looking to reposition right off the bat.
He takes the AWP. maybe not even necessary because Fallen doesn't currently have any armor, but it does give him that chance to just hit that one bullet and win the round. Also, there's no kit, so if he can just play this time down, if he can use the clock to his advantage, there may be absolutely nothing that can be done, and the Molotov actually doesn't work out. All it does is section him off. I don't think there's enough time. It's going to be ridiculously close for him to try and get this one done. They're celebrating like it is, and I think maybe he just has it. It's going to be ridiculously close, and no defusal. Just about enough time. In fact, I think that Molotov helps him, even though it missed.
0.2 seconds was left on the clock for Fallen on that defuse. Even though it doesn't work out again, what? They have 4 Deagles and a Scout. They pick up all 5 kills. They still do the damage they need to against their opponents. And they still try to keep that economy in check. And even saw a smile on Fallen's face after that round ended, realizing how close he actually was to closing it out.
Well, that's the thing. They were fist bumping as he went for the defusal, so I think they thought they won. And you see Trick sort of doing it just as the bomb goes off, like hesitant. We've got purchases though. This is where the weaponry comes back into play, but already 5 rounds on this T side. Trick, they're going to be feeling fairly confident, and definitely feeling confident in their B side takes once again over on this side of the map. But look at Fur. He's not spotted anything in connector. There's been nothing seen over towards long, and now knows that they're here, but the boost up almost gives Roy that initial kill. Even still though, both teams taking some early damage.
Bobski having a game of his life, 13 kills.
Yeah, that was 4, and he denied the defusal.
Yeah.
Like, he single-handedly won them that round.
So again, MIBR investing into the double op. Very crucial moment for them to start hitting these shots, to start winning these rounds where the money's just not going to be there if they consistently keep losing like this. And the chance of consistently affording this up is going to continue to fade. What aggression is what MIBR is going to be all about. And you can see right here, KNG hits the shot and more importantly, takes down the top fragger for Tricked.
Trying to get back, but that's a fine trade. The only problem is the time. That's 30 seconds. They have to get moving onwards, and first still in an aggressive position. The bomb now pushing towards long on its own, and they're being caught from behind. MIBR starting to get aggressive, leaving so little time left, and they know it. They have to go running into this A site, and there's multiple players ready and waiting. This has turned into a save for Tricked. The question is, I don't know if they're going to be allowed to.
Well, you see Fur trying to come around. Actually, they're going to let him escape with it. All right, so they'll be able to maintain an op in this round. Core is going to be happy about that. The money isn't really there for Tricked as MIBR take their 3rd round. I wonder if Fallen will actually continue to hold the op, or if we'll pass it back over to KNG. And that aggression for Tricked, I mean, the adaptation is to what? You sit back, you play a lot more patient. But we saw in that last round how much time it ate up before they actually even got close to executing. And by the time they even were able to hit towards that A site, Taco was already behind him. Taco was ready to pounce.
Yeah, that seemed like a scenario where just too much map control was given away. And that is something that the Brazilians have done very well so far over the last few rounds, even in the ones that they've lost. Note that they had a 5-man stack when it came down to the push just a couple of rounds ago. Sure, they didn't win the round, but they knew what was going on. They just didn't have the weaponry to ultimately win it, so that's something that Trick definitely need to watch for. If Fur may not be fighting you, he's still getting that information, the same as we mentioned from Taco in the previous round, so
Look how joined together Tricked are. If they get flanked in from behind, I don't know how they're actually going to deal with the aggression coming from the front as well. KNG's already able to take down one. The A site's actually left completely open, so the upside is Tricked. Able to barrel into the side, get the bomb down. The problem is they're going to be flanked from, or they could have been flanked from a couple of angles, but we can see MIBR going to be coming from the same position. 3-on-4 for Trick to defend. And MIBR, they have some utility to use.
Yeah, the 2 incendiaries and the smoke could be crucial. The problem is such aggressive angles being held by Trick. Normally in these scenarios, you see a fallback. You don't see them fight this out. Maybe that's not the right call to make. Shush will get one, but it's left onto Acor. He is the one man, sat back a little bit further, but he's getting burnt to a crisp, and Taco will take him down. It is another board, or another point on the board for the Brazilians. Well, this time it is going to have to be a bit of an eco coming out from Trick.
We saw Trick just so huddled together in that last round that they're allowing MIBR to have the map control. And we were just talking about the fact that maybe Trick need to stop allowing MIBR to do this, spread out, try to catch out that early aggression. But here in round number 10, they're not going to have a chance to really do that, considering they're just on the pistols, as they have the 4 Deagles bought up across the team. Double up back in the hands of MIBR. Oh, Bubsy with a potential shot here, but unfortunately gets caught out. Fallen's going to save Lucas's life. We'll see how clean, I think, MIBR could pull this round off with. I think it's going to be important for their economy to do that. They need to maintain this double op setup. Actually, they don't even need to necessarily do that, Tom, considering the last round they won was off 1 op.
Nice shot from Fallen. Even still, though, as we mentioned, not a whole lot invested. It does really seem like Trick, they're just going for damage. But the bomb's still towards their spawn. They haven't even bothered to pick it up. They're just trying to take some of these individual jewels, which MIBR are definitely giving them, but they're winning all of them as well. No shots really being connected. Okay, sure, Lucas took a little bit of damage, but they're going to equalize things fairly easily. 3 in a row, as you mentioned, trying to keep it clean. Well, that's as clean as it can get. And well, if you look at the finances starting to build, they're in a pretty good position now.
We've seen a lot of focus out of MIBR on this connector position, especially in the last 3 or 4 rounds. They're trying to cut away a big transition point that the T's can use. And again, the aggression coming through. Kerr's gonna fall though, getting a little bit too cocky there. And Roy's gonna drop him. I think that's a good start for Roy. It's one of his first kills of the match. But again, look how clumped up Tricked are being. And I wonder, is this fear or is this the game plan out of them?
I think they're just trying to trade effectively. I don't think this is fear. That's a really good flashbang. Angle not checked, but if Lucas has so much time, he can even walk past him, have a cup of tea, and then turn around and get the kill anyway. Even things up. They've been going for a bit of aggression across the map since Fer went down. KNG looks away at the wrong time. Almost the full Trick roster has actually run up beside him. I think he's heard it and is going to look to try and fall back a little bit. Will be facing the right direction, hits the shot, and they should be able to get this trade, and eventually Shush will do that. Even still, though, all these aggressive positions, they're burning that clock down so much. Once again, we're getting towards that 30-second marker. And Taco's been able to push a little bit further into mid, which is going to be hard to clear.
Especially with only 1 smoke to use on the side for Tricked. Taco waiting, Taco gets the first. He's gonna back away to look for a little bit more time for the reinforcements to get there. Eventually he will fall to the Hunden. And Accord gets a massive kill on the Fallen, and just like that, with the man advantage for MIBR, it's dwindled away. It's all on Lucas. 1 versus 2. This is gonna be tough.
Trying to make his way around, but since smoking off the other avenue, Acor's just homed in on this position. He's trying to pre-fire the angles, but he ain't gonna miss that shot. Tricked take the lead once again, but it's at a cost. And we've already mentioned that the CT side have been building up money along the way. Will they go back in for a double AWP, though? That's the real question. But the answer came in very quickly because Fallen's already bought a rifle. So unless he's gonna be handed another AWP, it looks like that's gonna be removed as part of their gameplay. It's understandable. Like, the B-side AWP is something you can throw in, but not the most common, and especially because they've been in a fair few A retakes. I feel like you don't really want to have an AWP ready for that.
I mean, the aggressive positions they've been holding, I'm surprised to actually see the double op being used. Pretty much in a one-and-done spot, and look at this. Aggression again. Bubsy's able to punish 1. You should have had the information that actually quite a few players push in that direction. You can already see Tricked quickly on the move. And we'll actually arrive to the site before MIBR can get here. And we'll actually get to play the after-plan situation. I like how Shush as well, sitting very far back to make sure they can't be flanked, trying to keep it a one-front battle for the main squad up front on the site. And Acor as well with the ops, able to just sit back, play this one down to a T. And for MIBR here, you might as well just save here at this rate, or maybe just make it punishable. Try to get a couple of kills and dislodge some of the weapons. But there we go, Taco gets the first. It's a little bit more likely. Taco gets a second as well, and Acor going down. They've lost the up. They've lost a little bit of the bathroom control. Taco gets a third as well, and Taco pretty much winning the round by himself here. It's all on Hunden up against 3 players, and KNG will close it out. That was a round I feel like Trick should never have lost.
No, I don't even think the rest of the team were going for that. Like, up until Taco gets those couple of kills, they were saving. The other 2 even started running away. Then he gets 2 kills, and they're like, okay, let's start running back a bit. And he did absolutely everything on his own. This was fantastic from Taco. Yeah, definitely a round they shouldn't have lost, and now the brunt of it is a bit of a weird economy. We are going to see a tactical pause called in for the Danish side. Probably not worth going for a full investment here. You can't have the AWP available, and with the bit of loss bonus that they have, they will be able to buy into the next round with everything they want. So probably safer than to go for something in the next.
Well, we see the ups and downs of the aggressive pushes out of MIBR on the defense. Upside is, if you're able to get set up, you slow down the attacking squad for a lot of time, and we've seen a handful of rounds now for Trick come down to the last 20, 30 seconds of time. Downside is, you get caught out, and they just rush one of the sites to get the bomb plant on you. But then again, with Taco hitting shots like that, you're not going to worry too much. But we're going to be back into the game, 13 round on the board. And Trick going to be just on the Deagles at a P250.
Ooh, okay. That was important from Lucas. He needed those 2 kills. In fact, Hunden actually cooks at the end, and only 1 man dropped. Looked like it could have been worse for the MIBR side. Even still, though, 6 rounds on the board for the Ts. It was really not too bad. And a lot of the stuff that MIBR have been doing somewhat seems a little bit disrespectful, like the push-through monster. That's not something you really see even once in a game. To see it twice, 2 rounds in a row, is maybe expecting less from Tricked, or just not fearing them at all. That definitely seems to be the case here. Both teams alluded to that when they had their interview on the stage, that they're ready to win. They've been working hard for this moment to get themselves back into a grand final, or into one, if in the case of Tricked, at least one of this caliber. I'm sure that none of them expected to be meeting VP in the grand final, but hey, I'm sure either of these teams won't mind that.
Oh, I'm sure Pasha's happy about that. Papito.
I hope he doesn't come and throw me out of the caster chair. That's all I'm worried about.
I kind of hope he does. I wouldn't mind casting with him, actually. So again, a minute left on the clock, and now Tricked are finally moving out of their own spawn. You see KNG aggressive, and KNG's, oh, he's actually gonna miss the shot. That's unfortunate, but then again, so does Acor. Still 2 kills going the way of Tricked. But will they expect this? It's a big time to go big for his team, but unfortunately, Hunden will get the kill for Fur.
Yeah, Hunden's having a lot of high impact frags within this game so far. Normally we sort of rail on him for not doing too much, other than, of course, his in-game leader role, but fragging power of him has actually been pretty good in this game. Taco has somewhat been unmatched, though. 16 kills. He's going to be the lone defender. A rotation is coming in from Fallen. Again, we get down to the last 15 seconds of this round, and there's going to be 2 players ready and waiting. There's actually a chance here for MIBR already. Fallen is gone. It's left all onto Taco. He can't do anything either. Shush eliminates him. I was wondering if there was just a small chance he would drop the bomb. Instead, the scoreline is equalized once again. There's been no real victor within this half, although based off sides, you would say that Tricked are there with the advantage. I'm not sure how the finances are going to come out here for the Brazilians.
Not great. They're able to get the double ops, but they've invested a ton into this Fallen, going with the glass cannon. Very bare utility for the side of MIBR. They're actually going for a nice little boost, but a core was expected, and Fur's like, hey, free op. Backs off. Trick to get the initial kill in the round. I think they can feel that first half victory.
KNG hoping to spot someone. But once again, the Trick side just disperse. They get their early pick. They slow the round down. They give Hunden some time to figure out his plan. There have been some strong reads from either side so far within this map. The question is how much information do MIBR have at this point? They've got still aggressive spots in mid. They'll have fast rotations no matter what. And in fact, one of them's already coming in. It's Taco to get on towards this B site. He's a man you'd want to have there. Lucas up close to flashbang is perfect again, but he's still only going to be able to get one, and Shush doubles down back in return. It leaves the AWP standing. One on the flank, one from above. The flanker does actually manage to net a kill. Maybe there's a chance.
Thing is, the two remaining players both have ops. Fur gets one himself down to a 2-on-2. Fur gets another, now it's all on Shush in a 1-on-2 situation against the AWP, a weapon you didn't expect to be able to come in and retake like this. 20 seconds left on the bomb, and MIBR trying to find the last player. They finally do spot him out towards Monster. Fur's gonna miss his shot, and Shush comes in, he gets completely blinded up, but KNG with style comes in with the 360 and gives MIBR the lead in the half.
That's two retakes that should not have happened within this first half. Taco with a triple to get back into one, and then a double AWP 2v4 retake for Fur and KNG. This shot was filthy. He was ready for it, though. Well, it will be a surprise final round being taken. Even still.
Well, if KNG didn't just join MIBR, I thought he might be joining FaZe Clan with that 360.
Yeah, there's been rumors about many players currently joining that roster, but I don't think he's one of them. I think he might be safe.
We had Taco on 16 kills at the end of the half. We had 15 for Bubsky, who had a phenomenal start.
Yeah.
Fur at 13, KNG at 11, and so far MIBR, I think, off to a pretty good start considering it's a map that they did not choose. The map they played, I think, twice over the course of the last 3 months. Obviously, with KNG coming to the roster, obviously 7 rounds for Tricked is going to be a start that they're going to be happy with, but coming onto the CT side, things might be a little bit different. I see KNG as being such a really good aggressive opper in this case, and I wonder if they're going to be able to suss that out and prevent him from being as effective as he's been in the past.
Yeah, it is worth mentioning, though, this is one of Trick's best maps, so they should be prominent within this CT side. They have not seemed to have any real fear playing against any of the opponents they've had so far. Like, you talk about AWPers, like, oh, sure, they could fear KNG. Well, they've already played against Chris J and Woxic earlier in the tournament and almost managed to take that series through as well. So I don't think they're playing with any level of fear going into this. I think they're confident. Their coach said they're confident, and I believe him. So I'm more interested to see how aggressive they're going to be. Are they going to look to take the fight, some of these Brazilian players? Because that's where I think they could actually get themselves further into this game. If Acor is going to go up against him and sort of take those battles and win them.
Well, that's what he did on Inferno yesterday.
Exactly.
Maybe like to get towards Banana, push up aggressively and hit the shots. I don't know how it's going to turn out. I feel like that could be the big linchpin. If he is hitting those shots, I think MIBR could be held back. If he's missing those shots, then, well, we see what MIBR can do on retakes being down a man or two. Let's see how they can do with being a man up on the attacking side.
Yeah, the other thing to mention as well is that Roy has had a very poor start to this match, and if that doesn't change, then there's going to be positions on this map to exploit. Like that's one of the problems. Like, sure, if you have a weak half on the T side, somebody else can pick up the slack. We've seen that already with like PHR. Like he didn't have a good T side, but it was okay because Mihu and Statue were playing so well. It wasn't much of a problem. On the CT side, that's where things change. That's where we see the holes in their defense as well as we could be seeing it for Tricked. If you have one man who just is getting owned every single time, a 5v4 for the T side, completely different story.
Well, here we go, about to kick off the pistol round in our second half of our first map of our second semifinal today. It's Tricked up against MIBR with a 1-round lead to the Brazilians. Let's see how they go about on the attacking half. We talked about the aggression out of Tricked, and the core is going to be going just for that and shuts down Fur. Doesn't give him a chance to get another 3K in the pistol round like he had in the first.
Yeah, gone within seconds, and well, the T side are going to try and react off the back of this. There's still aggression coming out from Roy, looking for the peak. He's got to be careful though. Taco is waiting, lurking. And you can see the slow, methodical clearing coming out from the Brazilian side, just making sure that there's no one who can flank them. They are going to be rotating back around towards Taco, who, as mentioned, has at least managed to hold on to this portion of the map. The only real worry is the second they open that door, all the information goes the other way.
Difficulty is Roy's going to be by himself. Here's the door open. Flashbang comes through. He's going to miss his shots, unfortunately, and well, they will lose out on one player. Bubsky is going to be under a lot of pressure on the B side. The reinforcement is going to be coming in momentarily. He's just trying to back off, trying to hit the shots, and they're not able to. MIBR connect 1 and 2. Not been able to get into the side and get the bomb down. Shush by himself against 3, pushes in, tries to look for the first try he's going to need, but Taco again comes out strong. 2 kills for him, and MIBR get the pistol round.
That just seemed like Trick lost that round purely based off not being able to connect their shots. Like, the read was good. They had the aggressive position in towards water, which gave them every piece of information that they needed. But then when it came down to it, Bubsky missed his shots, Roy missed his shots. It's like, sure, in a pistol round, just a little bit more RNG. You can forgive it. But if that's going to be a continuing trend, then MIBR are going to dominate them, because there's only so many shots they'll miss. Either way, we are going to see the double scout, something I like to see at least. Nade's going to own Bubsky. Dunked out before he can even spot an opponent. CT side down a man, and, well, of course, down in weaponry after losing the pistol round. Now, again, we've seen it from both teams. It's a very common thing within Overpass. You get that opening pick, you sort of just probe for information. You have the advantage. You don't need to do anything too aggressive, although won't take it away from Fur. He is sort of the exception to the rule. He is his own team, a loose cannon within the MIBR roster. Naturally, Fallen's going to go down somewhere else. It's a few trades starting to come in for Trick. Maybe this round isn't gone just yet.
Well, Shush can hit a shot. It definitely would be. The bomb currently still down. Back towards T-spawn. Core's been able to pick up an SG. That's going to be very dangerous. I'm going to see the Trick guys actually regrouping here. Trying to play together with the scout. At least one smoke left for MIBR. Core, ooh, if they come this direction, he can hit his shots like we've seen in the past. Trick could take this very crucial round for him.
Ready and waiting. Plenty of time, but there's the first for Acor. Waiting. Holding back, he gets another to his name. For eventually puts him down and is actually going to jump up above. It's not expected, but he runs out bullets and now gets pushed by Shush. That'll be another round on the board for Tricked and breaking back straight away. Now it's down to the T's to decide what they're going to be doing. Is it an attempted bomb plant? Is it a force buy straight back in? It was only one man surviving, but what a round from Acor. And what a weapon to lose. Slow motion coach.
Well, 8-9, MIBR still with the lead. Looks like they might just try to be going for a bomb plant here with the smokes and the flashes to come through. Shush gonna be waiting with the SG. Donated back to him from the previous round. That nade's done a lot of damage to Fur as well as the able to just spray and pray through him. And MIBR, I don't think we'll get much of anything here. As Shush is able to get the bomb down through the smoke. Taco will finally get one, but one will not be enough to win the round. And Trick is going to be able to tie things up.
And this will now have to be an eco, so Tricked are in a pretty good position. That force buy win, it's so incredibly important for them. Get off to a strong start. Probably boost the motivation for the next few rounds as well, because that pistol round definitely looked like, okay, maybe we let a couple of things slip in the last half, and you don't want to let those things creep into your mind. The second you win a round that you shouldn't, all of that fades away.
I like this, actually. No smoke prepared to actually block them off. It allows Roy to get extra aggressive. The nade going to come through, and well, it connects on a Fallen for 39 damage. But again, I mean, pretty much double save coming in here for MIBR. This ideally should be Trick taking the round, and I think if you're MIBR, a bomb plant here is well, ideally should be impossible up against this, but no smokes, no flashes to come through. Hunden gonna try to spray them down. He only gets the first though, and Lucas gets one with the Glock. Doesn't seem to matter as Roy's gonna be there off to the side from long. And Tricked will get the lead back in their favor, 10-9. And now we're gonna see the buy-up come in for the Brazilians.
Yeah, hopefully that'll be a little bit of a confidence booster for him as well. He just doubled his kills in one round, which obviously off to a bit of a slow start. But there's no point within this semi-final that he can't rectify that. We've also seen the slowdown from a few players on the other side. Fur as well was a strong start to this match on the CT side, but that's expected. He's able to catch them out. He's able to get those aggressive plays. We're also yet to see a full buy-in from the Brazilian side, but the pressure's definitely on them now. They're on that weaker side of the map. They've handed over some economy early on by sort of losing that second round force buy. Now, they've got to try and break the Danes, force them to go for some sort of eco. And that's not going to happen at least this round, and probably not the next either.
I think those 2 kills for Roy right there, very important for his mentality in this. Again, one of the first tournaments he's playing here on land, the pressure and the nerves must be there somewhere. Again, he's gonna push back up, flashbang comes through, and look how aggressive he's being. Not just him, he's got a core there off to the side, he's got Hunden from long. They're gonna bring out the aggression that MIBR used against them on the CT side. You can already see MIBR kind of expecting this, being prepared for it. They're trying to jump check a lot of these angles. No, Tricked haven't given up the gig just yet, and there we go. Akora gets the first. See KNG pushing through, and Hunden will be there from long, actually. A really nice peek out of him, and a second as well. That's gonna be the bomb now down, and MIBR with the buy-up are down to the 2 last players.
Hunden again, talking of impact frags, he saves his teammate's life, then doubles it up. And Acor is more than aware. It's mainly because they have so much control. The bomb's dropped. They just have to watch to see if anybody's coming in from behind. Taco actually pushing into this B side. There's still 2 players here, which he can't have really expected. And now they're going to play towards Lucas, but he gets 2 back. He needs the ace. We've said it multiple times. No one yet has been successful in winning a clutch like this. 30 seconds, and while that smoke is just going to burn so much time, even if he waits it out and retrieves the bomb, he doesn't have a time to plant, and then a nade gets rid of him anyway.
Hunden getting 3 kills in that round, keep in mind. We talked about impact kills. I think all 3 of them were. 2-round lead for Tricked, and they look to take it up to 3. And we can see on the side of MIBR, there's really not much money there yet again. They've not really been successful in most of these rounds, only taking the first and the pistol. And it seems like MIBR just haven't really woken up too much here. There's been a lot of great entries out of Tricked. Credit to Bubsky, especially on that T side, to hit quite a few of those. And Shush quietly working his way up the scoreboard as well.
Yeah, they've had some decent performances. We've seen MIBR already in this tournament have to grind out some of the matches. The first map they won on Inferno versus NIP was an overtime thriller. Checking to see if Roy's going to be in the same position he was before. I like the idea, but unfortunately for the Brazilians, there's nobody there. Well, the boost up as well isn't going to do anything. Roy, another kill to his name. This is another round where not much invested. Nice shot from Fallen. They can at least try and make things costly. CT side still with a reasonable amount of cash if things were to go wrong in the future rounds. Expending their utility just to try and hold back any sort of push. Taco actually leading the charge with the bomb. There's 3 players already and waiting on this site, and I don't think there's much chance of them getting in here.
It's gonna be tough. Hunden's gonna be flashed up, but he gets a spray onto the first. Taco's gonna fall. Fallen does have the AK, but again, there's so many defending players here. It's gonna be so difficult to even get any sort of ground, and Bubsky gets 2 more. There we go, Tricked. 4 rounds away from taking map 1. Dust 2 and Train to come up as our next 2 maps. Train, obviously, if we need it. MIBR just being shut down. This is just random aggression out of Tricked. One round they push up aggressively for 3-man hold. Next round they sit back in towards the site. It seems like MIBR just hasn't really been able to get a good read on them.
Well, yeah, this is what I wanted to see. This is what I wanted to see from Trick. Like, not fearing MIBR at all. Once again, though, we have a purchase, and ult behind it is still not great. A Galil thrown in, utility missing on multiple players, and Acor, this is a bit of a risk. He's got support, though. I like this. Roy in the corner. They team up together, and they're just wrecking the Brazilians at this point. Acor still remaining. If he goes down, it's not that bad of a trade. He's so wary of the players behind, and that nade is right on his feet. Nicely thrown by Taco. Even hears the footsteps of the man behind him. Bubsky got into a strong position in that moment, and even going to look to escape will just put doubt in the back of Taco's mind.
Oh, KNG. I think either player spotted them out. And Bubsky almost saving Shush's life. They do flank in from behind. The bomb leaving the last player alive with 50 seconds left. Talk is in at the first as Bubsky going down, so there's at least that going for him. He also has an open bomb site towards the B position. Instead, he's running directly into trouble.
That is Hunter's nickname, of course, Trouble. And he's been fantastic this game. 16 and 13. He's normally the person, as said, we harp on about, but this time it's for a completely different reason. Clearly wanting to prove Pimp wrong and doing a very good job of it.
Seems like whenever Pimp does analysis for his games, they win. Maybe his lucky charm.
Well, if they manage to get through this one, I'm pretty sure Pimp will be on the desk for the final as well, so maybe you've just made a prediction, Jason.
He might just, you know, all of a sudden get sick. Who knows?
There we go.
13-9, looking good for Tricks. Again, it is their map choice. MIBR back on the eco. Well, partial eco. They do have pistols and a Galil.
Yeah. Good read this time as well from Trick. I think they know that this is a weaker buy coming in. So they've sat more passively, and again, these crossfires have been fantastic from the Danish side, just obliterating MIBR. And leaving Fur alone, he's retrieved that Galil, but opts for the pistol instead. Acor's gone. He'll need 3 more of those to win the round, and I'm not sure I can say I believe in that, but it's going to become much more difficult as well. They know the bomb's there. They don't want to over-rotate in this scenario. They just want to wait patiently for Fur to try and make his move, and Shush hasn't budged. Knows he's roughly around his position, and it can't be done. 14-9. Trick get ever closer to taking their map pick, and this could be the last-ditch attempt from MIBR.
I feel like we haven't seen that many rounds, if any at all, that MIBR have been able to have a strong start. They seem to go man down most of the time. They run into crossfires like that. They've not really been able to have a super solid buy in these rounds either. KNG's been relatively ineffective with the op. This is obviously one of the first times we're actually going to see him on it. And again, the aggression coming through out of Trick. They really want to make sure that they can take away a lot of positions that MIBR can hold in the initial start. And you can just see with how they're set up on the mini-map that MIBR giving a lot of respect to Trick, giving him a lot of control early on, and fighting back tooth and nail to get every meter of position on this map.
Molotov didn't land properly. It means that Roy's been able to stay in his position. It should mean that they check it properly now. Smoke is going to be going down. He actually doesn't have much support, but still manages to get the kill. Peeks into the face of Fallen and takes it clean off. Should be able to get a trade here, but the smoke might be able to help him get away. Even trying to use the angle around the edge of it. Does take a lot of damage, but that's fantastic from Tricked. They get the opener, but then also use their utility to get him out.
Yeah, amazing smoke coming through. Now going to reposition, sending Roy back towards long, where he's going to be met up against Fur. Hunden still locked away in towards Connector, though. Has a couple of players around him. was at least able to trade 1-for-1 in the midst of that. Keep the man advantage for Trickton. Akor is going to back up his teammate Roy towards long. A second player going to be peeking in just a few seconds. KNG 13 and 16 looking to add towards this tally, but Akor is going to shut it down. Now it's all on Taco, 1 versus 4. He's been able to sneak his way through, but his time not on his side. It looks like Trickter's going to go up 15 and get on map point.
Yeah, 1 away. They have been utterly dominant as well. The only round they've lost on their CT side is the pistol. MIBR have been completely shut down. We did see a comeback in the game yesterday. We saw the Ninjas almost manage to grind out what would have been a ludicrous comeback versus Virtus Pro, but we haven't seen anything from MIBR in the second half. There's been no hero plays. There's been no rounds stolen like we saw in the first half. We haven't even really seen any aggressive B takes. It's been slower rounds, and this time, Taco is going to be able to get that opener. Bubsky's gone. Now I don't mind if they're a little bit slower off the back of this. Try and work that pick.
Flash comes through. Shush going to charge straight through the smoke. Spots at the first. Taco's going to pay the price. Going to get the second, though. No, the fence is going to be there, and Fallen and Lucas chime in to stop the aggression towards the B side. Of course, still going to have the up there, and he'll get his first. Trying to push up, but I think Lucas has been able to sneak around him, and Lucas should be able to finish this off. There we go. But Roy, in the meantime, turns it into a 1-on-2. His position has been given away, but he has the bomb.
He's taking so much damage, though. There shouldn't really be any hope for him here. There's so much time left for the Brazilian side to play with.
Ooh,
I like this. I like this. Use the boost late into the round. He's actually seems like he expected an attempted jumping shot from Fur, even giving a little smirk as he attempted that.
Good smoke, by the way. 40 seconds left. He's trying to stall for as much time as possible. Either they're going to push the smoke or come towards Monster. Or maybe Roy's the monster himself. Oh, this is so genius. This is such a high IQ play if he can get this first kill, but he's not able to, though. Lucas gets a 3K and keeps MIBR alive.
And finally, something for the MIBR fans to cheer about. It's been a long 8-round streak from the CT side. But as said, all it takes is one. That can get you rolling again. We saw it in both VP games. That it's very easy, especially within the stage, to let things slip. The crowd starts to turn on you, and maybe the fans go quiet. Still no confident plays being thrown in. Roy's been a real bane in this second half. Bear in mind, he had barely any kills in the first. He's just waiting. This is such an easy kill. First is running with his knife out, not expecting anybody to be there. He's been a loose cannon.
I mean, if we look how Tricked have been defending, though, that's not a bad play at all. No one's really been holding towards long early on. They like to be aggressive towards Fountain. He just tries to sneak through and get in behind him. I would say almost nothing to lose, but technically the map to lose.
Oh, they almost line up. That was very close to a double, but even still, they have a double man advantage. And again, we're back into these slow rounds, and the bomb's just running alone. Like, this could pretty much be the round over. If they kill off Fallen, then the round is surely done, but somehow he gets the kill instead onto Roy. Support will now rotate in the form of Lucas, and he gets an individual duel. Maybe a few slip-ups now starting to happen from Tricked. These are not the things we saw earlier in their CT half. They were good at holding on to these advantages. They even have 2 AWPs now, which is, again, not something we've witnessed through the majority, and Bubsky, it's just faced away from the door. He almost gets caught and is gonna fall. He was the only defender. This should be another round for MIBR.
Getting flashback to the NIP match on Inferno here. Shush pushing up. And of course, still has a long way to rotate. Shush needs to hit these shots. He's got 2 players to find there, and unfortunately he's gonna fall. Core, I think, just gonna back off and save the op, and MIBR are gonna stay alive. Considering how that round started, Tom, with Fur rushing straight down towards long and him dying, I am surprised to see Trick lose this round.
I think that can only be put down to a throwaway. That is a 3v5, which they just lost, when Fallen pushed long alone with the bomb. Like, they get that kill, 100% that round is over. even if they just don't die in that scenario, I don't think there's a way back into the round, but instead, we see different aggressive plays that cost them. Fallen getting a kill, Hunden also going down within the toilets, and oh, Bubsky, with him I can see maybe a little bit of bad luck with the timing of him turning around, but even still, MIBR are not out of this just yet, and with the money soon becoming an issue, well, it's already in fact, they're gonna have to take a hit here.
So they'll send what, a core towards B. Bubsky there to pick up the op if he does drop it. I think he's trying to go for the aggressive peek. He gets Taco down, so they get the man advantage. Not able to rescue the weapon, though. You can see he wants it. Oh my gosh, he takes Fallen down immediately. He picks up a gun as well, and just like that, it's gonna be a 5-on-3. Bubsky coming alive, gets a second. 4-on-2 now for Tricked. Not sure how he's able to push like that and connect onto those shots, but he's done it.
I can only assume that Fallen didn't have any head armor, and look at this position from Hunden. Absolute filth. Like, if he doesn't get a kill there, I'll be surprised. You can see MIBR have slowed right down. They're expecting the CTs to try and get up in their face, but instead, they're just waiting. They have the rotations cut off. They have a player watching in towards connector just in case for... I'm guessing there's going to be some sort of flashbang here to give him space to get into this. In fact, Akor's actually going to go pushing. Doesn't get the kill, though, and that could be the round turning once again. Fur with a double entry into the site. There is a rotation from Roy. He only has a Deagle, and an AWP's been picked up for Hunden, but he can't do anything either. Fur turns this round on his head. That could have been the map once again for Tricked, but the Brazilians never stop fighting.
I don't know how Fur pushes by himself with no flash, no smoke, no assist from a teammate, and still gets those 2 kills.
Yeah, Fallen must have not had head armor there. Probably an attribute to these last few rounds being so close. I think they know it as well as we do that things are starting to slip a little bit for the Danes. Roy, though, hasn't. He has been fantastic. Again, gets the opener. Hunden just listening to see if anybody is going to aggress. But this time, this is what I want to see. They go back to it. Okay, we got the opener. Now let's try and use it.
I do like how they backed off as well. Not trying to keep that aggressive position so they can potentially return frags. Bubsky, though, going to get caught out. The B site going to be potentially overwhelmed here from short. Shush going to be there. Hunden going to be there. And the core as well with the op, and he gets the first. Bomb still back over towards mid, though, funny enough. It's actually not with the rest of the team. Maybe they're trying to sell a fake. And it seems to have worked out because there's going to be 3 players still at the B site, leaving Roy all by himself towards long. I mean, Roy's been hitting some good shots, but if they come his direction, will he be able to hit enough?
Looking for a boost into the B site. There's a possibility to spot out Akor, but it's just off, and they'll hear the footstep drop down. The bomb in the meantime is looking to go in the other direction.
Roy's pushing behind him, though.
Yeah, there's only 20 seconds. That's a bigger problem. He's going to hear all the footsteps. Could catch them out before they get around the corner. Now, he hasn't spotted the bomb. Fur has to just go and try and get into this site. He doesn't have time to turn back. Roy gets another one. He might have just ended the map right here as Fur now has to try and save it. He's running out of time. Has to go for the plant now. He's just about got it. But even still, there's 3 Tricked players there to try and shut him down. 2 coming in through the toilets. The other looking to come in from behind. There's so much left for him to do, but he has been the star so far. Here we go, though. Round the corner they go. 15 seconds left. He gets one. There's 2 more still to find. 10 seconds left on the clock. The pop flash trying to give him some space. 1 player tapping the bomb. They need to get on it. He's found the kill. Now peeks out and Fur's done it! 4 kills for Fur. Fantastic round to close this and bring it to 15-13. Again, another round that never should have been, but Fur has managed to do it.
I don't know what's going to be going on in the columns of Tricked after that. The frustration must be mounting. Why can they not close this out? So many rounds they get the man advantage. They had a 4-on-1. And somehow this man pulls it off. Somehow this man keeps MIBR alive. And definitely a pause needing to come in here for the side of Tricked. No money to spend. This is exactly what happened with MIBR up against NIP on Inferno just a couple of days ago. If there's one team here that knows how to do it, it's definitely them. But what else does Trick need to close out this game? You have a 4-on-1.
They need to kill Fur.
It seems to be easier said than done. He's on 23 kills. We're back into the game, into round 29. I think their answer actually is going to be a little bit of mid-aggression with the nades, but Fur is just continuing from that last round.
He wants this. It's sort of been... The last few interviews from him have been fantastic. Not only saying that he knows that KNG is going to come in and destroy people once he's settled, but, well, the other one that I can't repeat. Even still, like, the way he's been playing. He's even going to go for a knife! Why not? He doesn't even need the money at this point.
And Fur has just made a statement. 2 rounds back-to-back. A quad kill and a triple.
Well, they taught Simple in the past that you don't knife a player from MIBR, but they will happily do it to you. And as if they weren't demoralized enough at this point on the Trick side. That was just not needed.
No, it was definitely needed, I think, for the crowd to put a statement in Tricked. Here we go into the last round of normal time. Will it be a win for Tricked, or will it be overtime for these two teams?
Well, since the playoff stage, I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, every single time a team has come back, they have failed right at the end. They have been so close and just dropped off. The fact is, though, MIBR have been in, well, at least some of the players in some of the biggest tournaments in the world. They've done this many times before. They need to try and do it one more time, get themselves to that overtime position. Still, though, we see confident plays coming out from Akel. Maybe not so much as we saw before. Remember, Roy was so aggressive in the round that they should have taken. This time, not quite the case. He's still around that connector area, being forced into the open. The clock ticking down. They're actually going to fall back towards the sites, maybe to bolster this B defense a little bit.
They do have an incendiary grenade to help block off one of these angles. The smokes, the flashes, everything being thrown in. Shush to get the first as MIBR collapse on top of the site. Hunden trying to hold on, and they do have the man advantage. And Taco will be there, and Taco will get himself a double. Down to a 3-on-3 with 20 seconds left. There's still one man on the site. There's still one man towards the back. Can he be the spoiler? Shush comes in, he gets the kill. He's still there defending with 15 seconds left. And MIBR, they need to get this bomb down. They need to clear the site. But can they do it? They finally get 2 more kills. 10 seconds left to go, and it's all on a core who gets the first.
He dropped the bomb.
He dropped the bomb. Can they get the bomb down in time? Will he rush this? He can spot him out to the side. The jumping USP not going to land. And he stops the plant. What happened? He could have had it down, but he thought Akor was rushing, and Trick come out in the last round of the map and take it 16-14.
The man that has been their hero all the way through the last few rounds could not quite close it out, maybe not realizing how much time was left on the clock. And again, it happens every single time in this arena. They come so damn close for these teams bringing it back. And while the Danes, they can breathe now. A little sigh of relief.
I mean, to be fair, if you're MIBR here, I don't think you're too worried about that loss, considering there were so many rounds in a row. They just threw one player by himself towards long, Fallen. If he died there, that could have been the game. For 1v4, there were so many opportunities that they should have lost this one. So mentally, I don't think they're going to be too down on themselves. But Tricked, that has to be a sigh of relief.
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, they've still done the job. They've won themselves the map. Yes,
Sure,
of course, they're going to need this like 15-minute break to sit down and go, oh. Now that's all I expect to see on the faces. I'm sure if you go back and look at their coach's face all the way through the last few rounds, it was tense, and then he was able to breathe at the end. But that was an unbelievable finish. It seems to be the case throughout this tournament that no game is over until it is over. But Jesus, I can't believe that 1v4 from Fer. That was disgusting. And I don't even know what's going to happen in the next map, Jason. I have no clue at this point.
And even just in that last round alone, just that last few seconds, I thought he probably thought Akor was going to rush him down, and instead it was either continue to plant and die or try to go for the kill. But Akor played it perfectly, just stalled for some time, played after play. He had him low already with the USP, and they're able to pull it off. But not only do they need a break, we need a break, and everyone here in the audience as well. So when we come back, it's going to be Dust 2, and we're going to find out who's going to take the whole series.